became CDF, he easily contributed to the discipline of the army because the political commissars were a disciplined group. The PCs also understood the strategic relationship with the people. You saw around here how he used to link with because some of the other combat commanders, the other school leavers, the peasants, sometimes yes, the army. The army don't talk to ordinary people. Managesi, they don't even pronounce it properly. But people like Aronda were very clear about the relationship with the people. With the people. Very important. I heard him talking about it here. The PCs also understood the strategic relationship with the people. Most important of all, Aronda was among those that understood very well our 4 ideological principles and the 3 historical missions. It is those officers that fully understand our involvement in South Sudan, Congo, Somalia, etc. Therefore, General Aronda was outstanding on ideology, discipline, but also management skills. He took the lead in starting the Wazalendo Circle. We had talked about this, but it had not been implemented. I don't know why. You can discuss it in your meeting. In conclusion, 3 points. All armies in history have and had historical missions. The head of the British Army in the Second World War, if my memory still serves me well, was a field marshal going by the title of the Chief of the Imperial General Staff, CIES. His names were Alan Brooke. What was the mission of that army, of the British Army? You hear his title, Chief of Imperial General Staff. That is his. Open, it's not hidden even. And he's not ashamed. I am here to colonize other people. He's not ashamed. You think they would hide it or something? No. Amevaa kwamba ndio anatawala watu wa ulimwengu. Wewe unataka nini na watu wa ulimwengu? His names were Alan Brooke. What was the mission of that army? To colonize, subjugate, and exploit the backward peoples of the world that were led by stupid, narrow-minded, and selfish kings like ours here in Uganda. Field Marshal Zhukov headed the Red Army in the Second World War. What is its historical mission? What was its historical mission? To liberate the peasants and the workers of Russia from feudalism and defend Russia against the imperialists that wanted to subjugate their country. What was the historical mission of the Continental Army of Washington? You remember also Washington had an army called the Continental Army. To get rid of the British king that was taxing the white settlers, mainly British, without allowing them to elect their representatives, the Boston Tea Party. That was the historical mission. What was the historical mission of the King's African Rifles that was baptized as Uganda Rifles at independence and quickly renamed Uganda Army? To be agents of foreign interests. In Tanzania, Mwalimu Nyerere managed to reorganize the colonial Tanganyika Rifles into TPDF after their mutiny of 1964. In Uganda, that was never done. Hence, all the problems we had with that small army of 8,000 by 1971 and 20,000 by 1979. It was therefore imperative that we build an army of a new type, patriotic, Pan-Africanist, working for socio-economic transformation of our society and for people's power through democracy. Therefore, the second point is that people like General Ronda, educated and from the oppressed masses, came forward to join the resistance we had initiated right from the student days. Their education and ability to write and read documents in English quickly qualified them to work in the intelligence and the political sections of the army. Some like Tinyefuza, Magara, Tumwine, Tumkunde Henry, Sande Mukuru, etc. also took on combat roles early in the fighting. As already pointed out above, even the PCs, having undertaken command courses after the NRM came to power, were able to fill the gaps created by the massive death caused by natural causes among the historical combat commanders. The UPDF, NRA, FRONASA were able to, broadly speaking, maintain its trajectory of launching Uganda on the path of liberation. 3, and finally, in spite of the achievements scored, I've noticed some weaknesses, especially corruption and inadequate training. There have been cases of stealing army fuel, army rations, pension money, allowances and salaries, and corruption in the selection of personnel to go to external missions, such as Somalia. The disaster we had some time ago in one of the defended positions where we lost 57 soldiers was apparently caused by this type of corruption. Of course, the majority of the army are clean. That's how we end up getting this information. I get this information because even small soldiers can come and sneak to me and tell me. Then I call the commanders and tell them. That's how we end up getting this information. There's also the misuse of army resources. The present CDF started fighting that some time ago when he took over the command of SFC and the land forces. He was able to use the money that was being misused to build barracks. He may not, because he may not to boss, but I know. That's why I appointed him as Commander of Land Forces. Because when I made him commander of SFC, there was money being used as airtime. That is called airtime. Airtime. So if he wants, he can tell you how he converted airtime into barracks without new money, but he was able to use the money that was being misused to build barracks for soldiers. As we remember, the patriotic commanders, such as the late General Aronda Nyakairima, you need to touch among yourselves and find out these elements that cause this pollution. I call it pollution. should not exist in. I have heard stories about pension, about allowances, professional allowances. That like me, when Museveni, I say I'm a professional because I'm a storyteller. And the man is going for that. The fuel, the army was getting fuel from petrol stations. Why would the army get fuel from petrol stations? There should be army petrol stations in the barracks. You need to touch among yourselves and find out these elements that cause this pollution. The failure by some commanders to implement NRA collective welfare formulae is also a mistake. Because, you know, when we came from the bush, the challenge we had was, how do you defend a country without money, without enough money? And our answer was initially volunteerism. You come and we defend our country. When we get money later, we shall see how to support you. But in the meantime, there are welfare needs. Education for the soldiers, the children of soldiers. Health, accommodation. Now our answer was, let's have collective solutions. Let's build army schools where the children of soldiers can study free. Yes, I'm getting a raw salary, but my child is studying free. That's good. At least my child will not corner because I'm getting a raw salary. Health, I'm getting free treatment from the medical center. Barracks, I'm not staying in a Muzugo. Because they have built barracks, and I'm staying near the workplace. This was our guidelines in 1986, but much of it is never implemented. And that's how you get all these problems. Like the other boy who killed our minister, Okero Ngora, that he was getting allowances for being a bodyguard. If you are going to get allowances for being a bodyguard, how about the ones in Congo? Why would they not get allowances? And you who is riding around in Kampala, you get allowances. For what? But that's because they were not implementing the collective answer. When I am away from where I am, from my home, what I need is food. I should get food. Because I can't take the food of my family where I'm deployed. And I think that one is always provided for. Operational ration, you call it. But money. When you take that line, you will not be able to defend the country. This is the problem of Somalia. Somalia is a big country. It is 3 times the size of Uganda in land area. It needs a big army. Now, if you start saying salaries, allowances, you cannot build a big army. You will end up with a small army, 10,000, like in Somalia now. How many soldiers do you have? 10,000. What can 10,000 do in Somalia? Somalia needs an army of maybe 200,000, 300,000. Ignorance is good. You know, when you are ignorant, it's also good. Because it's not good to know too many things. That's how people get blood pressure. You take a huge country like Congo, with these Europeans, brigade, woman brigade. What can a brigade do in Congo? Congo is about the same size as India in land area. You are not like me. You have these phones which have stories about the whole world. Me, my phone is only for ringing, not for rumor mongering. But for you, you have got these mobile phones which have got all. You go and check. What is the size of the Indian army? 1.5 million people. This is how you defend a country like India. You cannot defend it to Homa Brigade. You look at people, you feel pity for Africa. How can Africa be so unfortunate? So you need big numbers. And if you need big numbers, and you make each person very costly in terms of money, how would you manage? That means you don't have the numbers. And you are more backward than the Banyankore. To be backward than the Banyankore is not a good idea. Because the Banyankore were more advanced. The Banyankore say, and if you are making alarm for food, you make a smaller one. So that people don't hear and come too many. But if you are making alarm for war, you make a big one. So which alarm are you making now? Are you making for food? If you think war is food, then continue. You will discover. You will discover that it's not a good idea. We need numbers. And that's why the strategy of the NRA was, we need, by the time we launched RIF, reduction in force, was it 1990 or something? Our army was 100,000. That's how we managed to control the whole country. We had to cut it down. But even when we cut it down, we had to convert the money into what we call force multipliers. Buying aircrafts, buying what? Not spend on welfare because we couldn't manage. So therefore, implementing these collective welfare formulas is the correct way. The late General Rwanda implemented the formula of the Wazalendo. Has it not helped the soldiers? Has it helped you? MS idea? Now, if Wazalendo has helped you, why then not the others? Why don't you implement all the others? The ones who have been, which I guide you from the beginning. The good thing is that me, I write. I have understood why these people are writing the Bible. Somebody writes, you write St. Paul to the Corinthians, to these ones, to this one. When you are in heaven, people will check. The man who wrote, I always write. Why then not all the others? The barracks, so that the soldiers do not have to stay in Mizigo, trading centers. Army schools for soldiers' children. Health units for soldiers and their families. Salary loans you know, because we had said the children of the soldiers should study free in the primary schools, in the secondary schools. Maybe we could even talk of technical schools. But for university, we thought we may not manage to build separate universities. That's why, therefore, we had an idea of salary loans. If a soldier has got a child going to university for self-sponsorship, but biological child, not your uncles, not your clan, no. Yours. Go today or war. We talked about it, but we didn't conclude. You get a loan, you pay for your child, and then the army deducts from the salary to recover the money. That was one of the ideas, to find a solution for that. Fill the gaps, and UPDF will be formidable. Long live the memory of our fighters, like General Ronda. May the Almighty God bless their descendants and reward their patriots. I'm very happy to see the Ronda clan, to see Mama Mjarakoza. That's an old comrade of mine. These others, the other one is James Msime. These must be the new people. Because, this is Aronda's wife. You are the Ogu. And oh, yes. And the bearded man, he looks like Kahoza. You are a brother. Oh, okay. Kahoza was a footballer. At Ntari, he was a very good footballer. So, thank you for who organized this. Because remembering people is a good thing. And when you, first of all, it's good to remember people, because the one who are remembered is good for them and for their families. But also, you educate the new ones. Like now, you have invited me, and I have given you some free consultancy. I don't need any payment from anybody, just to pass on what we know. So I think this is a good culture. Maintain it. I congratulate you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency the President. Another round of applause for His Excellency the President for such an educative, instructive keynote address. Your Excellency, I have a request. You give us one group photograph with Mrs. Aronda and the children, 4-star generals, 3-star generals, plus the receiving line that received you, which included the CJ, the Minister, Secretary General of the NRM, the 2 permanent secretaries, Internal Affairs and Defense, and the ministers, CDF, Inspector General of Police, and the Commissioner General of Prisons. Second announcement, sir, there will be lunch for our guests, and The VIPs will go to sunset. The rest of us will be directed to the other venue, which is Speak Ballroom. Band, we shall have one stanza each of the anthems. I request you stand up for the anthems. The photo will be taken at the steps and the protocol will guide us. Thank you. After lunch, you are invited to the exhibition stores. Feel free to tour the exhibition stores. This exhibition has been opened by His Excellency. Tomorrow we shall resume at 9 with the various presentations in continuation of this memorial lecture. We are very grateful for your time. Please don't leave the lunch. Correction about lunch, canals and above, please report the sunset, and then the rest, you go to Speak Balls, sorry. We are advised to stay. We stay put as the photo is being taken. We are advised to stay as the photo is being taken. Protocol guide our guests and include His Excellency the High Commissioner of Kenya in the photo and the defense attaches that bless this occasion. Protocol, please.
The president has just concluded his address to everyone that has attended the first Kampala Defense and Security Expo in memory of the late Honorable General Arunda Nyakairima. Right there you see him next to the family of the late Arunda. He's now boarding to leave because of more work later on in the day, as more officials and military officers get to break off for lunch. It has been a wonderful moment where the president has highlighted and actually appreciated the organizers of this. It was a big deal in the 1950s and the 1960s with the DP and UPC, whose formations were hinged on religion, while that was also Catholicism and Protestantism. The president has highlighted and suggested that it is not something that is viable right now, and people should walk away from that. President Museveni also called upon Ugandans to participate in the production and service delivery to make money out of different services. Like you see right now, many military officers are actually heading back in to enjoy lunch with everybody else, while some of them are also leaving. In the address, President Museveni, I will repeat, called upon Ugandans to make sure that they participate in service delivery for all those that have services that can make money for them, that they should go ahead and embrace that, while production is also something that he told them and encouraged them to also be a part of. Now, the president also appreciated Arunda Nyakairima and also recognized him as a man of the people, a man who was very selfless, a man who was very courageous, and did a great job to see or to put UPDF where it is today. Many of them have attributed professionalism of the UPDF as one of the things that he greatly contributed to, therefore honoring and saying that the first Kampala Defense and Security Expo is befitting of a man of his stature. Before the president came in, he went and took a visit at the NEC exhibition, where you realize that NEC is basically the commercial arm of the military, and it was established in 1989, and of course to promote self-sustainability within the UPDF by engaging in commercial ventures and industrial activities. And we got to see different sectors being exhibited, but also seeing different sectors exhibiting, whether it was machines and in manufacturing, agriculture, construction, engineering and defense production. And of course, this has also contributed to the economic development and diversifying UPDF as not just for security and fighting, but also one that can self-sustain and has ventured into other businesses. Well, the exhibition still continues later on in the day, and the expo still continues from today to the 12th of this month, which happens to be, today is Tuesday, so which happens to be Thursday. It's not open to everyone, but obviously you can always catch it on UBC TV, Inspiring Uganda, where we'll always bring you live to the event and take you around. There's still so much more in honor of the late General Arunda Nyakairima. He has been celebrated and he has been recognized as a paragon of revolutionary sacrifice, a patriotic man, a man of his word, an accomplished freedom fighter, one that contributed greatly to the UPDF, and one that sacrificed, because as soon as it was 1982, after he graduated from Makerere University, he decided to join the guerrilla fighters in the bush, join President Museveni now, but then join Museveni with other 27 guns to make sure that they liberate Uganda from what they believe was an oppression state. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Sharon Chomdisha. We'll keep you updated. Keep watching UBC TV. Have a good afternoon.